All right, man. Hopefully, my air conditioner ain't too loud in the back. I got this portable air conditioner I bought. Um, I finally put it together. It took me a minute. These old Detroit houses, these small windows, so I had to make a minor adjustment. Let me see if I can change. Put it low. Put it to low. See how I feel on low. Um, but yeah, it's like a portable air conditioner. Got a couple other things that's attached with it as well too. I'm just trying to get situated. Had to take Miles to the vet. Um, so you know how I go. But let me know if this sounds good. When y'all walk up in the building, I keep saying that. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Christians get notifications. We go live or drop video. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Terence Crawford $1 million worth of game interview. Listen to it. Um, Said he punched harder than Errol Spence. Called Charlo a hoe. Named his top 5 fighters, excluding himself and Errol Spence. Um, talked about him winning the fight, and kind of Gilly brought up that he got rocked by Gamboa, and how he was insinuating that Errol Chin looked better, and Terence Crawford went into that. I mean, we already talked about the Boost thing and the Charlo thing, but um, a lot of people saying it was his best interview and they got him to open up. But I think he was also in a good place. And also, we're going to talk about Errol Spence's management deal. All right. He signs his new management deal. I'll probably have a video on it coming tomorrow as well, too. Um, but yeah, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok. Appreciate everybody follow me on TikTok. Um, the whole nine. We everywhere. Hit the link tree to take you exactly um, where I'm at. But yeah, man. So yeah, I listened to the interview, and he was already in shape. And Gilly kept saying, well, this is after the Javante Davis fight, and Gilly kept saying, well, you look in shape, and something must be coming up, and not too far after they shot this interview, um, the fight was announced. So let me know if y'all can hear me too, if y'all get in here. So my thing is this, bro. Um, you know, he stay in shape. That's what he supposed to do as a professional athlete. Uh, and one of the things that he kind of like pointed out was that he feel like he gonna be victorious. Obviously, that's what he supposed to say. He said he wasn't promising no knockout. They got into the Kell Brook thing too. In fact, where he talked about, you know, Gilly basically said that he felt that Earl be the better Kell Brook, and he broke it down again. And one thing I kind of tell from Terence Crawford, he looking for validation for what he's done. And this fight for him, in his mind, is validation. That's what it is. It's validation. And everybody keep undermining and going through his resume. And one of the reasons people do that because they don't understand where PBC, that PBC, just because they got some names, they got grandfathered in from HBO. That names don't necessarily mean substance. You know what I'm saying? And I think from this interview that he chasing validation on his resume, and rightfully so. You supposed to be chasing, legacy and all that other stuff. But I think he chasing validation, for his legacy or whatever. And Gilly brought up because they brought up a couple times when he was talking about other people's resumes, and he brought up how Mike Tyson, didn't have a resume. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, because he put Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Roy Jones Jr., Marvin Hagler, and I forget the other, somebody else he put in his top 5. And he said no Mike Tyson, but he said Sugar Ray Leonard, resume was basically better. And they said, well, they could say the same thing about your resume. The only reason people say that about Terence Crawford resume is because they don't like Terence Crawford. It's as simple as that. When you talk about names, you talk about Gamboa was undefeated. Everybody was ducking Gamboa. When you talk about, Victor Postal, people on press rows picking Victor Postal over him. When you go in there and you just start talking about how he knocked out Sean Porter, ain't nobody do Sean Porter. Shout out to Johnson, you can hear me, bro. Uh, Ain't nobody done Sean Porter like that. Then they moved the towel back, and Kenny Porter, come out and make all these excuses about why he threw the towel in. Pernell Whitaker was the other one. Thank you. Pernell was the other one. Why he threw the towel in and all that stuff. And they continue to move the goalposts back every time. It's just if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You can't force them. No matter what you do, even if you beat Errol Spence, they gonna come out here and they gonna make an excuse on why he beat Errol and why Errol Spence didn't win the fight. You can't chase validation from fans. I can see you chasing it from the media, but guess what? The majority of the media, guess what they are? They just fans. They just fans that went to school. And a lot of these boxing medias, they went to school for professions, for to go right for baseball, or basketball, or football, and they couldn't hack it in those sports. So, like I said before, I think he chasing validation, bro, and that's fine. Whatever your gas tank kind of run on or whatever it is, I can't knock it. But everybody talking about his resume, like he brought up about Errol Spence and Kell Brook. He brought up, well, he beat a better Errol. He beat a better Errol Kell Brook, and in a way, he did. Kell Brook was coming off a loss. It wasn't no months turnaround, but he had to heal his orbital bone. Then he had to come back down to 147 pounds. He was coming off a loss of Triple G. You know what I'm saying? And instead of give up his belt as a man, he didn't give up his belt, and he lost. Like Terence Crawford said, Kell Brook was coming off with a 3-fight winning streak when he fought him. Uh, it wasn't no weight drain. He said he felt the best he ever felt, and he said nobody done him like that. But then again, and the fans said, well, this would be his toughest fight. And every time Terence Crawford do something significant, Miles is out there shedding like a mud, dude. Every time he do something, significant, they just move the bar back. It ain't too much you can do about it, bro. You can't please these fans today. It's always gonna be something. They gonna continue to move the bar back, move the bar back, move the bar back. So, um, you know, but whatever floats your boat. People gonna nitpick his resume, but Victor Postal, by a lot of people' opinion, was the number one guy in the junior welterweight division. He beat, Lucas Matias, stopped him when Danny couldn't stop him. And he was the guy, and Terence Crawford won every round and dropped him twice. you know. Um, so it don't matter. They don't like you. They're gonna diminish what you do. They're gonna diminish what you accomplish. They're gonna diminish what you accomplish in the future. It ain't too much shit you can do about it. Errol ain't fought the upper echelon. Keith Thurman, the top tier fighter they had at PBC, and Keith Thurman. Let's call it what it is. He never got that fight, and we make sure the thumbs up button. Whoever fought that they fought. And a lot of people program um, to believe certain things that the media say. And I ain't saying Errol Spence ain't no good fighter. He a hell of a fighter. Can't take that away from him. You can't take that away from him. But when people start talking about resumes, Terence Crawford is the more accomplished fighter. You start talking about common opponents. Kell Brook, Errol Spence was losing the Kell Brook fight at some point. He was losing that fight. At some point, in my opinion, he was down. He stepped it up, and Kell Brook couldn't go to another gear. Credit to Errol Spence. I picked Kell Brook to win that fight. I figured that he would. He looked like he was gonna win. Errol Spence stepped it up on his ass, and Kell Brook couldn't take it up another notch. Credit to him. Terence Crawford, Kell Brook was giving Terence Crawford a good fight until he got knocked out the ring with that jug punch. You start talking about Sean Porter. Errol Spence dropped Sean Porter. Terence Crawford stopped Sean Porter. No matter what his daddy threw in the towel, Sean Porter, would have been talking, like mush mouth. Not, he would have been talking like that. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. So a lot of people, tend to have a concern, about what he's done, but ain't nobody done too much different from nobody else. Ain't nobody done too much different. They got him to open up a lot in that interview, and in that interview, he made it clear he gonna be victorious. He said he don't never gun for the knockout. And he also said he felt like he punched harder than Errol Spence. But shit, that really, in a way, it don't really matter because it's about who can take who shot. That's the thing about it. Who can take who shot? That's the $1 million question. Who can take who shot? If you punch harder than me, but I can take your shot, and I punch less harder than you, but you can't take my shot, it don't really matter. I think the biggest question about this fight is the control of the lead hand. Who gonna control the lead hand? And I believe, who can take the punch. I think it's gonna come down to who control the lead hand, who can take each other punch, and it's gonna come down to conditioning. Those are the three things I'm gonna think it's come down to. Making adjustments and all that other shit come after all of that. I think that's what it's gonna boil down to. Conditioning. The lead hand, who can take a punch, take each other's shot, and conditioning. I think they really should have had that fight outside. It'd have been dope. Caesar's Palace do a little, renovating, little arena, do it outside at night. But in the desert, man, when it get nighttime, I heard the motherfucking temperature drop like a motherfucker. So, but he said he feel like he punched harder, and Gilly said one of the things that people feel like he got a advantage in is just making adjustments. You hear a lot of people say, we're Earl Spence. His work rate is just gonna be too high for Terence Crawford, and at the end of the day, in a way, that could be true. You never know. But when you tend to be in there with guys who can counter punch, that don't really tend to happen, bro. When you be in there with guys that can counter punch, guys that know, gonna make Errol Spence pick up his feet instead of plant and just get off on them, that usually won't happen. In my opinion. That's usually, and then they got into this little thing. And basically when they was talking about the chins and all that shit. And they basically they basically said that Errol Spence ain't never got hurt. And Terence Crawford said, I seen Ugas hurt him in his last fight. And Gilly the Kid didn't believe that. He said, well, he caught him off guard. And I just, at the end of the day, let people have what they want to have, because he hurt him before his mouthpiece fell out. He hurt him a couple times in that fight that nobody really was paying attention to. He got hurt versus his last southpaw. He fought Emmanuel Artley. Um, so he gave Kell Brook credit for his power too, but Ugas hurt him on several occasions. But then again, hey, if the commentators don't tell you that he got hurt, he done got hurt. He talked about getting hurt by Gamboa. He said in that same round, I forgot, that he came back and he stopped Yuriorkis Gamboa. I don't think Terence Crawford was as healthy as he could be at 135. And he kind of talked about his history or whatever. I think he said he went out to fight in Philly to get fights, and he was trying to get Golden Boy to sign him. And Golden Boy basically wouldn't serve up the prospects that they had invested in him, so he said he went back home. So he basically said he was wasting his time. And I just let you know about the politics about boxing, y'all. If you don't have a certain look, if you don't come from a certain area, if you don't have a certain skin color, if you don't talk a certain way, if you ain't got cachet, you ain't got a following, no matter how good you is, you're not gonna have that financial support. And he fought against all that, bro. You gotta understand, Terence Crawford didn't have the training expenses and the pre diems that other fighters got. Long story short, he ain't had a financial shit that support his training camp like that. So who knows? He you know, you look at guys like Jesus Christ. You look at guys like Errol Spence coming to the amateurs, and guys like Shakur Stevenson, bro. They got the best amenities, bro. They got a top ranked gym. They got access to the strength and conditioning trainers and equipment. And you got to understand the difference between your average local fighter and your television or world championship level fighter. That's what you gonna call them. The biggest difference, in my opinion, is that the conditioning. It's not the talent. It's the conditioning. A lot of them dudes that be on the local level, they work 9 to 5. They doing construction, and then you coming back, your back hurt from the construction. Then you go into the gym and training for another 3-4 hours, and then guess what? You ain't got a lot of other time to do nothing else. Then you got to be right back at the job. So they not making enough money on the boxing circuit to survive, bro. So how can I compete if I don't have a financial backing? And that's what it come down to everything. I was just listening to Angry Man talk about, how black people lack the economic power to get what they need to get done. It's people who got the ideas, people who got the structure to get shit done. It's no different than talking about these boxers. They lack the the background. Some of these guys lack the economic push. If I don't have no money, to train and all that, so guess what? I probably got to go to a local gym, pay him a couple of dollars to train there. I ain't got the best strength and conditioning coach. I'm training on my own. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got the amenities. We sharing the gym. We find the sparring. We find sparring that. But also, if you can make it through all that, Marvin Hagler had it hard coming up. But if you can make it through all that, then guess what? You a fucking beast. Because guess what? When I start getting the top trainers, when I start getting the top nutrition, when I start being able to afford the cooks, when I be able to, get all the training expenses or all the training things that I need to have, I'm a fucking beast, nigga, now. Because I was a beast without it. So now you give me all this additional support. Now I got better sparring. Now I got better equipment. Now my coach got the ability to have footage and, we comfortable. I ain't got to wake up and go to a 9 to 5. This is all I got to do. It's a totally different thing, bro. It's a totally different thing, bro. So it's a lot of them guys on the local circuit who championship contender. It's somebody in the gym right now. They might not necessarily be undefeated, right? They might not necessarily be undefeated, but they just as good as most world champions out there. They just don't have. It ain't that these dudes can't find these dudes, bro. It's just they choose not to. Everybody looking for the next superstar, not the next world champion. That's what it is. And if you ain't from the right area, you ain't got the right back. And it's a lot of guys out there who's superstar material, bro, who go championship material in, Mexico, Puerto Rico, who just ain't getting opportunity in the ghettos. Plenty of them. He said, if you say Iron Mike top 5 in the cat, well, a lot of people say Mike Tyson high, one, they casuals, but two, he brought probably 70% of guys that's hardcore boxing fans, 70-80%. Mike Tyson brought them to the game. Kofi University Loop, he said, peace to everyone in the chat. Smash the like button and click the link tree and sub to everything. So shout out to Kofi Universe. Go subscribe to his channel for the latest and greatest in hip hop album reviews and news. Said JB said he hurt 3 times. He got hurt 3 times in that fight. I showed it. Pound for pound. Sports Entertainment. Y'all go subscribe to this channel. Killer Smeeze was good. He said, yeah, Joe Smith Jr. Another one. Joe Smith Jr. got them motherfucking union benefits. You be the damn fool. Boxing don't give you benefits, bro. Joe Smith Jr. got a real union job. He got real union benefits and shit. But before I get to this Errol Spence management thing in like 10 minutes, because that's what we're going to end off with, he called Spence Charlo a hoe. He kind of thought about it for a second, then Yili was like, I wouldn't expect you to say that. He said, you a hoe ass nigga. That's what he really wanted to say, and, so be it. At the end of the day, them fighting words. You call a man a bitch, a hoe. You can call a man anything else but that, asshole. I guess Virginia would be going too far, but I think bitch and hoe, like that, basically you might as well open hand slap him. He don't have no respect. He right. He became a groupie, bro. And I understand that's a stable mate. Then he said that Terrence, he said Errol Spence probably be beating on Jamel Charlo and sparring, and all he doing is egging Jamel Charlo on to stay at 154 pounds, so he can fight him and try to be a 3-way undisputed. I don't think Al Heyman gonna let that happen, but and maybe Jamel won't either. But basically, he said that it was all cool until it was time for him to fight Errol Spence, and then he couldn't get Spence. He started calling him out. And then he basically said that then he started going overboard. He said Adrian Broner kept it real with him. He said Adrian Broner said that straight up to his face that I think you gonna win that. I think Errol. I'm cool with y'all, but I think Errol gonna win. I'm more cooler than Errol, and that's cool. That's cool. You can tell me that all day. Oh man, this dude better than you. Ooh, cool, 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 cool. That's your opinion. It ain't gonna bother me. Now, if you want to start going around saying that you want to go around and start saying all some other shit like, oh man, nigga, pussy ass nigga Earl is gonna walk through a shit. Then you start lying about negotiations and shit. You know what I'm saying? You start lying about negotiations. All the niggas was playing the role. That's why they were so irritated. That's why I did that. That's why I did that interview about that video I did today about Earl Spence and how he played the role and how he played the role, and how people saying, well, it was Al the whole time and we shouldn't get Errol Spence flack or whatever. Oh hell no! Like, dude, that mean that they was trolling, and I told y'all that's why they was getting so irritated. That's why Jamel Charlo was getting so irritated when they was asking. So they was kept asking about Terence Crawford. They kept getting irritated. You know what I'm saying? That's like being with your girl, you being with your girl, and everything you do start irritating her. Then one, you like what you did wrong. Then two, who you fucking with? That's you want to know who you cheating with. Like every time they bring him up, Jamel say, "Oh, what do you do to deserve this?" And he need to go obey Errol Spence and take the money, Errol. But it wasn't no money. He knew it wasn't no money. He knew it wasn't no offer. He knew it wasn't none of that. All them dudes was playing the role to protect Errol Spence because that's what Al Heyman wanted. And Errol Spence finally said, "You know what? Fuck what you talking about, Al Heyman. I want to go do my own thing." Like Roy Jones said, "I want to go do my own thing." But he was right. He was acting like a little moody little girl on her period. He was right to call him a hoe because that's what he was acting like. And I don't really condone another man calling another man a hoe, but hey, when you acting like he acting all feminine, and that's why nobody like him. He want to know why he ain't on nobody pound for pound list that he watched because you unlikable, bruh. And they can't separate the emotions from the facts. You see media members that hold him that stop a guy from becoming an MVP or make a guy wait 2 or 3 turns to be a Hall of Famer when he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, all because he didn't interview with him, all because he dissed him. You got to understand that's the same energy that you get from chicks in high school, dude. Or a dude did from chicks in high school. If he didn't get the chick and then she tried to come back around and look here, he might be like, hell no, bitch, I'm up now. You got Pookie in them, or he might just dog the bitch out and be like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So it's just from that simple fact, once you look at it, dude, it's like you know these niggas was just being super duper dick riding, bro. And a lot of people believe everything they say, even though anybody with any common sense that could read between they could read the lines. You didn't have to read between the lines. Knew what they was doing. They was trying to defame Terence Crawford boxing character so nobody would want to demand a fight. They was going around saying he was pricing himself out, going around saying it was a contract to the point where he had to go out and defend himself. You know what I'm saying? And people knew this shit wasn't adding. Now you got all these fake ass, managers coming out of nowhere saying that, oh, I seen the contracts and this, that, and the third, and he should do this and he should just take what Earl Spence giving him and all that. Like I said before, all of it was a ploy, and Earl Spence was in on it the whole time. He knew the whole itinerary, just like he kept calling out Keith Thurman. When I told y'all that Al Heyman there wasn't no plan for him to fight Keith Thurman until around now. He also said Tyson Fury in his top 5 too. And his top 5 was the New Way, Tyson, no particular order, That was his current top five. His current top five was Shakur Stevenson number one. I think he said Inoue, Tyson Fury, Tank Davis. It's besides him and Errol Spence. It was somebody else too. But like I continue to tell y'all, bro, like you can tell what they was trying to do. They was trying to discourage people and discourage Terence Crawford and not want him to want to fight no more. And they was trying to discourage the fans, saying, "Well, we can't give it to you. We give you Keith Thurman," and they tried it. Oh, we can fight Keith Thurman at 54 for his debut, and that was their way of trying to say, "Well, Errol Spence outgrew the weight class, but we still gonna make y'all a good fight." People said we don't want it, like a Booster from Jingles All the Way. It's my favorite Christmas movie. We don't want Booster, we want Turbo Man. AB salute. They got to do a good job of building dudes' home base. That's where the problem starts. Porter hurt Spence. Jamel on ES News running his mouth about Bud again because he called him a hoe. There you go again. You know, and Ellie Sackback, you know, he going to ride with them. He going to ride with whoever give him access. That's the name of the media game, bro. With this new media niggas, they gonna ride with whoever give them access. You know? And I'll tell you this. Your interactions with black fighters is totally different. As a black media member, it's totally different from other outlets' interaction with them. They interview with the Mexicans, the whites, with no problem. They give them all the access. When it's another brother, and I don't blame them. Shit, it is what it is. Feel how you feel. It's what you feel. I ain't knocking you. But they treat the other brothers, they treat brothers like shit in the media, bro, to be real. Real talk. But it's a lot of good brothers out there. Kenneth Sims, you know, real good brother to interview if you catch him. Jared Hurd, real good brother to interview. But some of them other niggas do be acting like they too. I ain't got time for that, bro. Win or lose, I think Jamel is gonna fight in the ring, and I want to see them two dogs. Yeah, Jamel a dog. Can't take nothing from him. Bud is definitely trying to get Charlo to stay at 54. That's what he is. He called him a hoe. But then what he did was some hoe shit. If we all cool and you cooler with one other dude, just be like, yeah, I'm riding with Earl, you know. That's what I'm riding with. I don't think it's going to be close, but hey, let's see what Terence Crawford can do. I'm cool with him too, but I'm with Earl. Simple as that. That's what Adrian Broner did. He told him to his face, I'm more cooler with Earl, ride with Earl, but you know, I fuck with you too, but I'm riding with Earl. That's all you got to say. But then again, you do all this extra shit. But then again, Al Heyman had to have them dudes protect Errol Spence. That's what it is. Al Heyman had to have them dudes protect Errol Spence. That's exactly what it is. Al Heyman had to have these dudes protect Errol Spence. Keep telling y'all that. He wanted to discourage Bud. He wanted the fans to be discouraged, and he couldn't do it. He wanted Errol Spence to go out looking like a baby back itch. And Errol Spence was like, man, nah, man, my own community hoeing me. It's one different when niggas out there in New York and California saying shit. When you can't go nowhere at the crib and people hound you about this fight and you living up to your word, all the words that he said, he got to live up to it. He said, Bud, keep 100 on Tank. He said he a good fighter, but I don't rock with Tank. That's a real one. But yeah, I don't think he no top 5 fighter. You got to whoop somebody. You got to whoop somebody. But then again, today the boxing's so watered down no more. People just gonna go by the eye test. And then when they do get in the ring with somebody, then it's gonna be like the Jerron Boots Ennis effect. And I predicted what they was gonna do to Boots. I predicted that. Don't forget, I predicted what they was gonna do to Boots. I said Boots gonna have a fight where he not gonna look superhuman or he not gonna knock the guy out quick, and they gonna say he was overrated. Did I not say that? I seen it before. You could tell Earl nervous. He had frowned up already. Killer Smeeze, he said Javier Logan, grown men in the media that act feminine. I really want to say the other F word, but what is this boils down to is they're not confident Earl can beat him, so they are doing all this posturing. And that's cool. That's cool. If he beat him, then they going to act like they got all the confidence in the world because it was a period where you couldn't find an Earl Spence fan on the internet. They weren't making videos. They was tapping out. You know what I'm saying? Because he was inactive. It was, rumors that he was going to fight Keith. They weren't interested in boxing no more. They couldn't spin a narrative no more. You know what I'm saying? The pizza dough was all stretched out. And now it was time to bake the pizza. Then, he came down. And like I said before, we all got pride. And I'll tell y'all, that's women's number one. Women Love to learn they man. So they don't learn you because they love you. They learn you to be investigators and they learn to manipulate you. That's why they learn to push your buttons and be able to push your buttons at will. And that's why you got to be able to control them emotions so they can't push your buttons. When they can't push your buttons no more, it ain't shit they can do. It is what it is from that standpoint of view. Then you got all the, when you control your emotions, you got all the power, bro. Ellie be hating on Dev, something crazy, something must have happened behind the scenes. I mean, read between the lines. I would guess so. Of course, so. Of course, something happened. Ellie need to ask him when he fighting Tim Zoo. Tim Zoo just had surgery for a dog bite. He's still fighting though. They for sure put the Spencer Thurman rumors out to see the fans' reaction. Ain't nobody want that shit. You had a couple sloppy suckers, Jay Thomas, talking about how they still wanted to see it and I'm still interested in there and all that. Yeah, all right, whatever. He said, side note, he says that I know I got some Brooks. I don't know what that is. And Hulk, oh, I don't know what the Brooks song, but the Hoka Air 6, there's some fire running shoes. I don't know which ones I got, but them Hokas, they the truth. I don't know what the Brooks is. I was thinking about getting some iClouds. But somebody told me that this Asian kid I was talking to at the gym, he told me that the Zaconis, that's not what they call it. That's what we called them in the 90s. They used his favorite running shoe. So he got me interested in maybe looking at a Zaconi. But them Hokas, a problem. Henry, what's going on, bro? Javier Booth struggled against the unknown Karen, and they said he overrated. Baloma struggled against the unknown Ortiz, but there's 100 excuses made for boxing. And Booth still arguably won every round. So I mean, like I told y'all what they gonna do, bro. I told y'all what they. I done been around boxing too long, bro. I won 100 just on the fight BMA. Spence fans don't really want this shit. He don't seem like he really wanted, but it's kind of hard to gauge where people at. I heard he was as high as 185. He was down to 170 or something like that, like a couple weeks ago. So I mean, when you cutting weight, he probably having a fat camp. So yeah, he probably having a fat camp. So your energy gonna be crazy because when you cutting weight like that, your energy you gotta get adjust to the calorie count. Your calories gonna have to decrease. And then when you making a changeover in food too, the nutrients is different, bro. Especially if you doing a lot of sugars and sodium, and now you probably going towards a lot of fruits and vegetables, natural sugars, and now your body getting used to. Anytime you do a drastic changeover, even if it's from grease to more fresh fruit, more lean meats, more peanuts, more bananas, more kale and stuff of that nature, more high protein. It's an energy level. Is your energy gonna drop before it spike again, even if you go from eating bad to good, because your body gotta get used to that change. It's a change, and then obviously, when you eat them type of foods, your calorie count gonna drop because you gotta cut weight. So it's calorie. So your levels be low as hell until your body kind of get adjusted to the new norm. Yeah, man. Like this shit crazy though. Even if you say all he doing is train, but when you waking up, training, and then you probably take a nap, get up and train. That's kind of pretty much. Honestly, that's the easy part. But the hard part for him is anybody cutting weight is they got to cut significant weight or any type of weight. Is not going back to them old habits with fried chicken, candy yams, macaroni, hot Cheetos, chips. Cutting out that bullshit for Kent. That's the hard part. Like the hard part is what we doing after the work, in between the workouts, in between the gym. What we doing at midnight, and that's why them ZMAs and ZMAs is so important to your nutrition too, because you actually get to sleep and you ain't got to worry about night cravings. And I trying to tell y'all the best thing to do, kind of when you cutting weight, if you want to do it the right way, great carbs, natural sugars and fruits, vegetables, and it's kind of like training a dog. I always say that you want to eat, you trying to want to eat at the same time every day. You want to train your body, and also too, the thing about working out, it's in some type of the brain kind of like when you notice that you work out, you're not hungry no more. I forget what they call it. The brain kind of like sends some type of chemical or some type of signal where your body ain't hungry no more. You might get hungry an hour or two after workout. So the hard part is just being disciplined when you're not working out and when you bored and shit, and finding finding ways to keep your mind off of snacking and bullshitting. So water, reading, video games, whatever it may be. Dwayne Waits, I love your show because you talk the real talk. I'm new to the channel. I appreciate it, Dwayne. Appreciate it for having you, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's all that shit. It's really boiled down to discipline, bro. But his energy level probably like kind of, he probably about probably I say about probably close to a month out in that Dallas Heat, he gonna start getting more livelier, bro. Boost a big problem for all seven. He got a problem. Two hand puncher, slit. He said we've been on this shit for a long time. Al letting these fights happen recently. He got to be losing a lot of leverage to these fighters. Yep, I'm about to talk about Errol in a minute. Coming to 100% right. The worst thing to do is eat before bed. Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say that's one of the worst things. But if you do eat before bed and then you go do some push-ups or you go walk around the block, you hit the treadmill, it won't be so bad. It won't be so bad if you're able to have some type of physical activity. But then again, not just 10 push-ups, nigga, and not just literally one block around one lap around the block. But yeah, that's not a good thing to do anyway. But some people's schedules, they can't help it though. He said, "Yup." He said, "When you're a chronic or when you thinking in calorie deficit, even when you fasting, you don't have a lot of energy. You're more irritable and not eating them guilty pleasures is a mental battle. Trust me. Yeah, the dopamines, the parasites, you know." Hey, can y'all hear me? Yeah, there we go. I don't know what happened with the sound. But yeah, the dopamines and all that other shit, um, all that in your brain, that's all tied. And then emotional stress, it kind of make you want to eat those foods and crave those foods. Parasites make you crave those foods as well too. So yeah, emotional stress make you crave those foods. That's why you see in the movies and shit, or you see when girls go through breakups and heartaches, they got a whole gallon of fucking Haagen-Dazs and they eating it. Emotional eating is crazy. But let's talk about this Errol Spence shit, right? Let's talk about this Errol Spence shit, man. East Texas, man. East Texas, man. No, we got the NBA Finals tomorrow. And tomorrow, no, my bad, Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday. I forgot we on a short week. I like Denver, but boy, Caleb Martin was, man, he was out there. Yoga fire, yoga fire. Oh yeah, Street Fighter come out this week too, don't it? Ooh, I don't ask to play. If you play me, you gonna win. I'm trash. Trash. I'm trash at Street Fighter, but look at Ellie setback. It says, "Welcome to Big Fish at Errol Spence to the Fighters First family." Okay, now Barbara Choice sent me this earlier, and I kind of like glanced over the website. She told me I need to glance over the website or whatever. So we're gonna look at the website in a second and shit. And I had to peek at it at work to see what she was talking about, and basically it'll give you probable cause on kind of like he ain't happy with Al Heyman no more. Yeah, he ain't happy with Al no more. That's what it boiled down to. He ain't happy with Al no more. You know, when you look at this mission statement and see kind of, what they doing or whatever the situation may be, he ain't happy with Al no more. That's just what it is. And like I said, like when Deontay Wilder came out and said that, guys need to start getting paid on time, and guys need to get paid on time, and people talking about Al Heyman. I mean Bob Arum. What Bob Arum got to do with paying Deontay Wilder? These dudes talk about Al Heyman. These dudes talking about Al. And this proved a point. And this ain't uncommon amongst PBC fighters neither. It's not uncommon. And once you actually be like, what you mean it's not uncommon? Well, I know a couple PBC fighters who have personal managers and got Al Heyman. And some of them personal managers taking 60% of their money. I'm not gonna say the fighter, but But yeah, they got personal managers. Now I don't know if they just roles or they just salary roles or just to give you a role, but yeah, they got personal managers, bro. You know, so this ain't he got an advisor. He got an advisor, and then he would have a manager. But that kind of obviously it's gonna raise. This kind of gonna raise some antennas though. To me, I didn't really think much of it until I started reading the mission statement or they Bill of Rights. And once you start reading this stuff, then it becomes blatantly that this may be paradise. This may be a paradise issue with Al Heyman. Now it says we always put fighters first. Our main goal is to ensure our fighters are in the absolute best position for success. Our team values our clients and stands by the rights to provide them with the best possibilities for growth and career advancement. Fighters have the rights to know what is discussed contractually and financially between the manager promoter in regards to her name company. So the first one says that they have the right to know contractually and financially between the manager promoter in regards to his name or so basically, what that's kind of telling me, dude, is what that's kind of shout out to Dr. Blick. What that kind of was telling me is this is that let me zoom in too. That they don't be knowing what's going on between the managers and the promoters, bro. They don't know what's going on. So they got the right to know what's going on, contractual, financial. Basically, a lot of people believe that Al Heyman making moves on their behalf and they don't know about it, and I know that for sure. It was rumored that when Conor Ben said Keith Thurman was asking for $10 million and all that money, Keith Thurman wasn't asking for it. Al Heyman was asking for his services. But once you read that contract that Al Heyman got put out there, you seen the leak on the internet, then you signed the rights away. Fighters have the sole right to accept or decline any deals or fights offered. So basically, it's saying a lot of these dudes don't know what's going on financially. They don't know contractually what's going down. People accepting deals on their behalf, but then this one say they got the right to say yay or nay to any deals that's offered, and they can't be pistol whipped into accepting these deals. Once again, the first two is a blatant shot at Al Heyman. Tell me I'm lying. The first two are blatant shots at Al Heyman, bro. You hear that Al Heyman is making moves on people's behalves, making them take fights on their behalf. And then you also hear that he accepting and declining fight offers without them knowing it. So the first two are blatantly directed at Al Heyman. They're blatantly directed at Al Heyman, bro. So take it for how you want to take it at. So we threw two and two fits a narrative about Al Heyman. Right? So let's keep going. Fighters have the right to terminate manager upon a material of breach contract. So, all right. So if a manager don't uphold their end of the contract, they got the right to breach it. They breach the contract or don't uphold the end of the contract. They got the right to terminate the contract. All this shit Al Heyman created, bro. All this shit Al Heyman created. He been fucking over those guys, bro. He really have. But them first three fit Al Heyman. It's like this is an anti-Al Heyman company. That's what it sounds like to me. It's an anti-Al company. The fourth one. Fighters have the freedom of speech to express themselves and their thoughts to management. Now, could be another one at Al Heyman where he don't allow them to have an open door policy. He put a gag order on them, and they don't have the right to express how they feel about Al Heyman. Possibly, and this can obviously fit multiple fits. And the fifth one, fighters have the right to education of the boxing business if they choose to obtain it. So, like I said, is Al Heyman showing these guys the game, or he just doing everything for them and telling them where to show up, and they not getting no education for it? But a lot of these dudes don't want to know how this shit work. I tell you that. That's how Bob Ross got fucked out of his business and shit, because he never learned the business side of it. He was the talent, but if so, the business side come in and the talent don't want to learn the business. Guess what? The business side gonna always fuck the talent over with. They're gonna get rights, they're gonna get merchandise, they're gonna get ownership of material, they're gonna get secret recipes. I'm trying to look for that particular word that I'm looking for. All that shit. They're gonna get all that shit. So a lot of this seemed like an anti-Al Heyman management company. That's what it seemed like to me. And they don't have too many big time fighters. They got Brian Norman on there and Errol Spence. And it says all of their fighters are backed by their Bill of Rights. You know? And does this mean Al Heyman broke up with Spence? Hell no. Hell no. I doubt if Errol Spence left Al Heyman. And if he did, he probably put up a hell of a lot of money to get out of that deal. He probably put up a hell of a lot of money to get out that deal. Let's call it what it is. He probably put up a hell of a lot of money to get out that deal. And that's what it is. So he like I said before, I don't see Al Heyman just letting these dudes walk. You know, it was rumors that Deontay Wilder didn't get paid from his last fight. And that's why he was allowed to negotiate with the people over in the Middle East. So, like I said before, if he lost Errol Spence, that says a lot, bro. That says a lot. It's probably gonna be a lot of trouble coming behind that. But him signing to this management company and then him going on ESPN First Take and telling them that they tried to get him away from not taking this fight. Sound like he went against Al Heyman. You know, I heard you can't cross Al Heyman without getting taxed. So you can't cross without getting taxed. He said, "What weight you think Crawford will have Drake to?" I ain't sure. She probably 160 somewhere in there, 161, 3, 4. He said, Javier Logan said, "What's the reason behind boxers signing with management companies? I saw Errol sign with just now, but isn't Al Heyman the management more of a business question?" I got Denver. Like I said, I've seen people have advisors and I have managers. So Al Heyman is an advisor. So, I don't know. Obviously, there's a benefit here to this. And it seemed like he want more clarity on the business side of his boxing. He don't want his boxing business handled in the dark. Denver in 5. Listen, if Crawford hurt Errol just a little, he's going to knock him out. Yeah, I think Errol got some dog in him. Ain't going to be that easy. He got some dog in him. He going to be in some good shape, too. Dr. Blick, what's going on? He said Al doesn't like the financial transparency, which is why he's working with them Saudis. Is getting be interested because them dudes gonna start taking issue with how much he shaves off the top. And from what I heard, Deontay Wilder got permission to negotiate with them on his own. That's what it sounds like. So I heard Eddie Hearn the only real person that can really negotiate with them. So that's what I heard. Without AJ, it really ain't gonna matter. But it sounds like Errol Spence want transparency, dude. He want to know what's going on. Support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Yeah, 60%. But maybe this some type of loophole. All right, yeah. Lion Killer got the contract, bro. I don't know if he still got it. He said I hate to agree with him, but 50 kind of spoke on how Al Heyman had Floyd in the dark on a lot of ish. I remember he said Mayweather Promotions wasn't an actual promotional outfit, just a subsidiary. Yeah, yep. He had a whole article on it. He said Floyd asked him to help him out. And when he started, I talked about this was sometime this year or late last year. And when Floyd Mayweather, when 50 opened up the books, he noticed Floyd didn't have shit. He didn't have a business manager. He didn't have an accountant. Everything was through the all-powerful Al Heyman. And when 50 tried to get it in order, all of a sudden Al came in and slapped 50 on the wrist. And he had, they tried to cut Al Heyman out and directly plug in to everybody else. And, Al Heyman came down, pillow talk Floyd, and, him and 50 started beefing. Flame on 24 salute. He says intellectual property, likeness, proprietary works. I knew what you was trying to say. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. He earned all that shit. Rice Eater the Super Chase said Crawford, the one who put Spence on game after it was confirmed Spence and Bud was talking. He tweeted, started to feel played. Now he got new management. Hey, you could be, appreciate the super chat. You could be putting it all together. What if Nas say put it together? I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas. Now you trying to take my spot, fellas? Philly's hot rock. Well, I forgot the rest of it, but yeah, you're right. You're right. But then again, Terence Crawford was top ranked Toby, and Terence Crawford was in the dark. Terence Crawford was broke. He from Nebraska, and Terence Crawford was this, that, and the third, and Terence Crawford was this bum ass nigga, and then Al Heyman was robbing them niggas blind. I kept telling y'all that, bro. Anytime somebody put a non-disclosure agreement, anytime dudes making offers and receiving offers, and keeping you in the dark, what y'all expected? What y'all expected? What y'all expected? Like I told y'all, go watch that Bob Ross story on Netflix. Fucked him and his family all over. Funny how this happened right when the fight got made, though. Maybe the fight only got made because Errol had to lead Al to do it. I mean, shit. Hey, I don't want to go speculate. Could be right. Her Al, a very powerful man, bro. He said they just probably renamed PBC because the brand got burned. The PBC wasn't even their idea, bro. If y'all know who idea was, bro, they stole it from somebody. Man, I'm about to get off anyway, bro. I sent it out tomorrow. I think they doing a press conference tomorrow, right? Whenever they do the press conference, I go live next. I think it's one of them tomorrow. I think PBC's rebranding because Showtime about to go out. Well, Espinosa said Showtime is going to be here in the short term, and he don't know about the long term. Spence say Al still managing him. Well, there you go. There you go. I don't know what that. You got any questions I answer them. I don't know. I mean, like I said before, Al's still with him, so who knows? I don't know. I don't know what this mean or what this ad, or does they be able to get more transparency about what's going on behind the scenes? I mean, hey, it is what it is. Al Heyman ain't let too many people walk. Hugo Centennial Jr., Vanas Monterosian. I don't know too many people that walked away from Al Heyman. Name them how many people walked away from Al Heyman. We have seen guys like Nodito Donaire leave get cut by Top Rank, come to Showtime. Elvis Rodriguez got dropped by Top Rank, come to Showtime. Carlos Adames left collar top rank, came to Showtime. But how many people you seen leave Al Heyman that was a value, a real top fighter, leave Al and go? They get offers from the zone. I mean, you see Jesse Vargas, Danny Jacobs, just to name a couple guys. But that's it. You don't see too many people leave PBC or leave Al Heyman. And then a lot of times them guys say Al Heyman is a lot of times them dudes say Al Heyman is still a part of the team. Al was Spence managed. Spence couldn't move without Al approval. When Bud asked Spence about the fight, he said you got to talk to Al. There you go. Okay, the press conference Thursday and Friday. The tickets gonna sell Friday too. I don't know who Broner fighting. Whoever Broner could get in the ring. When I seen Broner opponent, I was like, smack who? Boo Boo with Showtime. I don't think he would PPC. That's what I heard. Only today's era, the smaller fighters bully the bigger fighters, Bud and Charlo. Hey, that's the only reason he bullying Charlo like that, because Al Heyman won't allow it to happen. Because that would have made Errol Spence look bad. But shout out to Vinny Ochoa. Appreciate the cash app. I shouted you out a couple of times, but you here. I'll make sure you hear it now from the other day. So yeah, that's just what that is. Oh, he on the PBC website? Okay, then that means he probably about to get David Benavidez. That mean he probably about to get David Benavidez, bro. Yep, he probably about to get David Benavidez. Because he just put that baby boy clip on his social media too. That shit was funny. I think Spence using his management company as a buffer for looking over Al Heyman's advising going forward those Bill of Rights. Well, yeah, that's how. I mean, you mean he probably using them as an auditor. He using them as an auditor. Now, the money getting funny over there. People can't do what they want to do, and now everybody wants transparency from Al Heyman. Now, people probably could have said, well, Terence Crawford started that wave, and now people want transparency. And I heard Al Heyman really do not like fucking with new people. And now he fucking with Al Heyman. He fucking with Terence Crawford, Tyson Fury, and all of a sudden these books starting to get open, and now guys want to know their worth. Now guys want transparency. Now guys starting to hear that moves are made on their behalf. Like, apparently Saudi Arabia wanted to put on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford along with Usyk, Fury, and Wilder and Joshua. And Al Heyman kind of shut it down and didn't want to let them know. So Errol Spence really finding out that Al Heyman making a lot of moves on his behalf that they don't know about. And that's why other fighters come out and say, well, Errol Spence dug me, Keith Thurman dug me, Wilder don't want the smoke. And they sitting here looking like we didn't get no offer. You say call Al Heyman. Al Heyman got the offer, and Al Heyman don't tell you nothing. Think about that. Tyson Fury, arguably beat Deontay Wilder in the first fight. Why didn't he sign with Al Heyman? Come on. Why did he sign with Al Heyman? Ask the question there. Why didn't he? And at the end of the day, now these dudes starting to see how they move. Now dudes got questions. It took Bud to come over, and now dudes got questions. Now dudes want to open up their books. Now dudes want transparency. Now dudes want that transparency. Now dudes want transparency. So, hey, at the end of the day, bro. At the end of the day. And then the money was already getting tight, and fight dates already getting tight. So that, along with some people doing some snooping and looking at the books and looking at contracts and stuff, that's all it took. But the number one thing is their money getting funny. The number one thing is their money getting funny. And fight dates getting short, few far in between. That money getting funny, bro. Look, dude, if somebody ain't working, bro, ain't no money really being made unless they got some great investments and shit set up. These dudes ain't really fighting, bro, at all. If you see a boy, used to hustle all the time, different cars, and all of a sudden, all the cars start going away. The nigga downgrade the house to an apartment. The Hellcat, now it's just a regular motherfucking Charger or whatever. And you see him always got time and they ain't be doing nothing. You gonna say, why you ain't working no more? What happened? First thing you gonna say, these dudes ain't working, dude. And then, Al probably be trying to pile them up on the card to try to get them to take less money. They like, no. So Al said, you go on the shelf. It's a crazy game. Imagine telling somebody to call Al and Al don't tell you about the call. That's pretty much what it is. That's why Eddie Hearn was slipping them emails to them fighters behind Al back because he'll call Al Heyman and Al Heyman will never tell the fighter. But everyone's cracking on Crawford for asking that. Hey, Crawford, and what people really slept on Crawford. Crawford made a comment and said that I received some calls from people at PBC to tell me what to look out for. That's exactly what he said. He said I received calls from people at PBC telling me what to look out for in these negotiations and contracts. Who was that? Probably Sean Porter and a few other people. Bud got 10-5 needs. Spence finna get for this fight. I heard they getting 10 apiece, but that's just what's guaranteed. So I heard the press conference Thursday, Friday. Somebody said in the chat, New York and LA time said. Them boys stranded on death row. That's what happens when you give up proprietary intellectual property. That's what happens when you give up to power of attorney. Simple as that. But let me get out of here, man. I gotta eat. Get ready for tomorrow, man. So we get something that come up tomorrow. He said 70-30. I don't know what the pay-per-view split is. But something come up tomorrow. I'll be back live tomorrow, man. But like I said before, don't forget to listen to this on all the podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. It's 100% free. It'll be up sometime tonight on all of them. Give me a rating on there. I appreciate y'all for rating it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, best way to donate to the channel. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. This will be in the boxing one-on-one playlist on YouTube as well too. Peace.